It's not Vuvuzela time here at Inside Expekt, I promise you that. I've been in South Africa a week and I really need an earplug. So I'll save your ears and we look ahead to two great quarterfinals this Friday, starting with Holland, Brazil. A cracker, what can you say?
Yeah, it looks great. You'd be good enough for a final, wouldn't it? I mean, Brazil against Chile looked really, really good. Just hit form. A few doubts about the group stage performances, but I don't know whether the Chile style made Brazil look good. I mean, very open, and you know, Brazil could express themselves quite well.
Every statistic you look at, Dan, these sides are going to be very hard to separate. Recent head-to-heads, Brazil have won 3, Netherlands have won 2, 4 have been draws. Since 2008, Brazil have had only 1 defeat in 30 games. Since September 2008, the Dutch have been unbeaten in 23 games, and at this World Cup, again, they're almost inseparable. Brazil 6 yellow cards, Holland 8 yellow cards. Brazil have scored 8 goals, the Dutch have scored 7, and both teams have conceded 2. So where on earth do you separate these?
Holland have impressed me with their defence, very tight. They don't play as open as in the
And I thought one thing that's interesting in the run-up to this is that this Dutch coach, Van Marwijk, he's been very keen to play the underdog. He's been quoted, "We are happy to be underdogs." I think that's a bit of psychology, Richie, don't you?
But also Holland with the form, they've only lost once in the 12 games they've played against South American opposition. Now that's a very interesting form line. So you know, but I was very impressed with Brazil, and you know that might give them a little bit of a boost. We're 195 Brazil, one of the top prices around, and there'll be plenty of takers for that.
Is that your bet?
I fancy Brazil, but it will be hard to break down. And I think draw half time, Brazil full time 4.7, and a clean sheet for Brazil is 2.35. And then you've got your usual suspects. Fabiano's first goal 5.5. Mighty Robben. I mean, Vice, the Slovakian manager, said he adds 50% to the Dutch team. I mean, one player added that much. All right, he might not add that much, but he's definitely a bonus. 9.0 to score the first goal. But it'd be very tight. I just fancy Brazil. Maybe just sneak it.
I can't separate them, Dan. I just simply can't separate. I think we're going into extra time on this one, and then at that stage anything is possible, and you could even get the dreaded penalty shootouts. And we made this point in an earlier round, didn't we, Richie, that the Dutch are almost as bad as the English at penalty shootouts, and that really is saying something. They've won 1, lost 4. But Brazil are not superstars either. They've won 5, lost 3. So my bet actually is Brazil to win on penalties at 11.
Oh, that's it.
And that happened in France '98, didn't it? Brazil knocked out Holland then on penalties. So
will history repeat itself? That's a question. Later in the evening we have Uruguay-Ghana. Very interesting match as well, of course. Here, Uruguay is slight favourite, but Ghana, they look very strong, don't they?
Well, there's no recent head-to-head, so we've got nothing to go on in that direction, and I just wonder, the one question for me is whether Ghana will be able to deal with the pressure of being the last remaining African nation, but also the pressure of becoming the first African nation to make it into a World Cup semi-final.
Maybe this could be a draw as well.
I mean, they're going to get the support, aren't they? But Guyana, he's scored 3 goals, but he's an injury guy because he's got an ankle injury.
So look out for that info.
And Aiwa is also suspended, his strike partner. So
they have some doubts. And also some suspensions, key players in the defence.
Well, Ghana have suffered
Annan.
He's suspended. Ghana have racked up 8 yellow cards against Uruguay's 3. We always tend to think the Uruguayans are a sort of dirty team, but the Ghanaians can be a bit sort of headless chicken status, unfortunately. And they've scored 4, they've conceded 3. The Uruguayans, as Richie said, they're tight. They've scored 6 and conceded 1.
And it was a tough group Uruguay came through, and they came out on top.
Exactly.
So
I've been ever so impressed with Uruguay personally.
2.15 on Uruguay, 3.75 on Ghana, and 3.10 on the draw. So what should we go for here?
Well, I'm going to go for Uruguay and maybe a 2-1 win, which is 7.5. There's been 40 winning games in 90 minutes so far. 25 of them have been by 1 goal. And Uruguay have had 2 of them, and Ghana lost by 1 goal to Germany, didn't they? So 7.5 I'm going for, 2-1.
That's the one.
I'm going for Uruguay to win in 90 minutes at 2.15, which I think is a solid bet. If it did go to extra time, I think again it's anyone's guess really, because if it went to penalty shootouts, Uruguay have won 3, lost 3. Ghana have won one, lost one, so who knows? It's a lottery at that stage. It's who holds their nerve. I just worry about the Ghanaian temperament at this stage of a massive tournament, and I don't think there's any question mark over the Uruguayans and their temperament.
No.
I think they'll go through in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So Uruguay and maybe Brazil, it will be dramatic. Check out the matches, check out the live betting, of course, at Expekt, and we will be back with the Saturday matches soon. See you.